What's wrong with the stupid TV? There's nothing to watch. Oops, never mind. I found something.
All right, welcome to the Last Rewind, where we talk about the Dallas Cowboys and how they're doing with the 2024 season. And surprisingly, we have some good news today. Dallas has broken the losing streak. In all places, Washington, the Dallas Cowboys have beaten the Washington Commanders 34-26. And I guess I will call a thrilling game. It was very wild, very weird, but I'll take it. A W is a W. Man, me and you were texting back and forth, man, and I was kind of surprised by some of your responses, man, because usually it's on the other foot with me, because I'm like, Dallas is about to mess up. They're going to throw this game away. It's too close. You know how Dallas does in the end. And usually you're on the positive side of this, keep hope alive and all this. I'm like, man. And Jermaine was like, nah, they're going to mess it up. I was like, dang, man, you ain't got no hope. And we had a nice, somewhat sized lead for us because it's hard to get 3 points. And we had like, I think, an 11-point lead at one point in the fourth quarter. I was like, come on, man. It's over. It's like a minute left. There's no way that the other team is going to come back, unless it's a miracle. But, miracles happen. The same thing that Washington did versus the Chicago Bears earlier this year. A miracle happened with a Hail Mary. So miracles happen, and we'll get into it, but a miracle almost happened. The miracle for us was just winning. So I was just happy just to get the win. So, what are your thoughts on the game, man? What did you think about this win that we finally get, breaking our winning streak?
Oh man, well, I usually post some kind of catchy video or something after the game, but I didn't even have that energy in me. It was a good game. It was I can see where defense stepped up. Defense looked very impressive. The secondary had some lockdown plays. I think Jaden Daniels, he got away for I think it was a 9-yard run, something along those lines, and he got that 2-point conversion.
Mm-hmm.
But we had pressure on him too. I saw was the pressure that we were putting on him in the passing pocket made it difficult for him to get a pass off or to get a good clean look at times. So I would say the defense looked good. I think a major contributing factor to this game was the presence of DaRon Bland on the field, because they didn't go to DaRon Bland's side not one time. So the Commanders were only going to Noah Brown. So once we looked at, we can lock down Noah Brown, maybe we can make something happen, because they weren't trying to go on DaRon Bland's side for anything, which could have been a potential interception. So although DaRon Bland didn't do much, his presence on the field helped tremendously in this game. I will say, Rico Dowdle, he has some pretty shifty moves, pretty shifty runs. He got a couple yards, but obviously,
86 yards.
86 yards to be exact. So he looked pretty decent too. I don't know why Zeke is on the team. Zeke just I don't know.
Let's see, 6 yards today.
6. Okay, well,
long 4. So he didn't eat at any time today.
He ain't done that since 2020. If I want to go back, but I felt like this game was a. At one point, I felt like both teams wanted to lose.
Right. That's a good question. Who do you think? Do you think it was more so the Commanders gave it away, or Cowboys won this game?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say
with the missed field goals,
missed field
the
goal,
fumbles, interceptions.
The missed field goals from the Commanders really hurt them. Really hurt them. But
Yeah.
we did get up by, I believe, more points than what was missed on those field goals. But if I had to say anything, I will say the Cowboys won it. They won it, and I'm gonna say that because I saw a different. I'm gonna say that the Cowboys defense won it more so over the Cowboys offense. But to your point in our past videos, it looked like the offense, the offense retaliated or played up to the defense. It's like, like usually the defense hold them off, and the offense is like they just go 3 and out, and there's nothing showing for what the defense done. It looked like in this game, the defense was like, all right, y'all got a touchdown, and okay, you keep doing your thing, and we'll do our thing. So I would say from that aspect, I would say the Cowboys won it. I'm not gonna chunk it all up to that miss PAT by I don't know the kicker's name, but by Washington's kicker. I'm not gonna chunk it all up to that because it never should have came just down to that. So I would say, yeah, I'm not gonna I would say the Cowboys won it, but it was a
Austin Seibert, I think. Austin Seibert.
Okay. It was a messy win, but they won it.
Definitely. Okay, well, who would you give more credit to today's win? Dallas's defense or the special teams?
Special teams.
Special teams.
Yeah, special teams. I mean, obviously, Turpin had a great game. I would say the special teams. Although we didn't do nothing on the missed field goal, he just missed it. That was just a gift from God right there. But I believe the most impactful play. I believe the most impactful play happened on special teams today, and that was a big energy boost for Dallas.
Yeah, I can give you that. Well, with that being said, and we haven't been able to do that this season, partially because I didn't make the graphic yet this season. For the most part, I've been going with the game scapegoat. So what we actually have a player of the game. This may surprise you, and it kind of goes with what you were just saying, who you thought was the reason why we won the game mostly. So here's who I picked for today's player of the game. It's been a long time since I've been able to say that. Here's who I picked. KaVontae Turpin, who ran 99 yards for a touchdown, which looked like it was about to be a disaster. It looks like what you sounded like you were predicting, like Dallas is about to give this game away, because he bobbled the ball at first, dropped it even, and picked it up. And I said, oh, man, we're going to get horrible field position. We're going to be at the 5-yard line. We barely can get yards as is. And he turned what it was supposed to be a disaster into a treasure chest of a touchdown. I was like, wow.
I was happy to see it. It like you said, yeah, it had disaster written all over it. But that cat is fast, man. He had a punt return against the Browns week 1 when we thought we had a snowball's chance in hell at this season. He had that punt return. That was impressive. He had that slant on that pass against the Texans. I want to say the only touchdown we had on the Texans. He had a slant and he turned on the Jets. So he's definitely a bright spot on special teams, potentially offense as well. I think we always use CD Lamb on like the end around and jet sweeps. May want to incorporate him on a few of those as well.
Yeah, and we saw a Trey Lance sighting today too.
Yeah, we did. Trey Lance came in. I think we saw 2 Trey Lance sightings. He came in there, and
not much came of it though.
nah, I mean,
I think he has a -3 yards if my stats are correct.
Yeah, I believe they're just trying to figure out with the absence of Dak right now. Just hey, let's give the kid something every now and then, and it was great to see him. I was a little perplexed as to why we saw him then, because at that point, Cooper Rush had gotten us in the red zone, and he had to be feeling himself. And he, why stop the cooking just for a random trick? And it ain't like they were gonna give Trey Lance. They didn't give Trey Lance the full series.
Right.
They took him out only for Cooper Rush to come back in. I didn't agree with that, but we did score. Did we score that drive?
Which quarter?
I can't remember if we scored on that drive or not. But just to take Cooper Rush out when he was actually he had a pretty good game. He don't no picks.
Yeah. 247 yards altogether, 24 of 32. Got sacked one time.
He had a decent game. No picks, and
keep you always pretty low.
Better than what the shit show that Dak was giving us the first 3 weeks, despite the win against Pittsburgh. But I didn't get the point of Trey Lance. I mean, unless you're gonna continuously play him, I don't get the point of this switching. I guess their point kind of is the fact that in a running situation, they prefer Trey Lance over Cooper Rush. But even with that, I just prefer Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush he had a running play. I mean, just if you got the quarterback you're going to go with, just don't take him out for one play and then bring him back. That I think that can do something mentally as well. Like, I'm cooking, I'm doing well. Why you taking me out?
Maybe Jerry said put him in so we can get some draft cachet, and maybe we can trade him next year in some sort of, I don't know. We got to see. I'm paying him, so let me see if I can get something out of him next year. Because he hasn't done nothing thus far since he's been in Dallas.
Hell, since he's been in the NFL. When he was when he was with the 49ers, he ain't do nothing.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Overall, I'm like when you said we were texting, and I was like, no, we're gonna blow it. And we damn near did.
And I text you, at the very end.
Damn near did. And I was like,
I should have listened to you. I was like, listen to you.
And I had money on the game, and I was like, man, let me go in and send this. Let me go and send John this 50.
Yeah, the thing on the send button.
And no, literally, this is what happened. I was about to send him the money. When they got the touchdown, they got the last minute touchdown. I pulled out my phone. I was about to send it, and I hit the Cash app, and I was like, all right, maybe something gonna happen with this field goal. And he missed the field goal, and I was one keystroke away from sending him the money so he could get his money, and I was like, oh, never mind.
Man, you would never even believe that. Now, the end score is 34-26. You would never believe that the score would be that way. 8 minutes and 12 seconds in the fourth quarter. The score was 10-9, Dallas. Dallas had to lead, of course. Yeah.
That was a wild game. That was a wild finish.
Yeah. Washington. What ended up happening during the fourth quarter? Washington had the ball. They ended up fumbling it. Dallas scores field goal, 13-9. It's now 5 minutes and 19 seconds in the fourth quarter. The score again ended at 34-26. Dallas then next scored a touchdown, 20-9. At 5:19 left. Washington got the ball back. 3 minutes and 2 seconds left. 20-17 Dallas. Close game. Still, you wouldn't think the end score would end up being like it is. Next thing you know, that's where KaVontae Turpin, 2 minutes and 49 seconds, ran it back 99 yards, 27-17. And that's where I said, game. It's probably game. No, I said it's probably game. I didn't say game, but I said it's probably game. 10-point lead. They're going to run the clock down and show off a miracle on an onside kick. We pretty much got this. And, just why I text you, I said, dang, Jermaine, you don't have any faith in this at all that we're going to win this game? Like, he's like, nah, I don't. I've seen this story before. Then you put some doubt in my head at that point. I'm like, damn, he might be right. Next thing you know, Commanders get a field goal. I said, we still got a touchdown lead. We're good. This is 1:47 left in the game. Good. Just, get a couple plays, run the clock out. We're good. I think Washington might have had 2 timeouts or 3 timeouts at that point. Still, we're good. We're good. 33 seconds left for the Commanders, and we have a 27-20 point lead. 33 seconds. We're good. We're up. Terry McLaurin, pass from Jaden Daniels, touchdown, untouched, 27-26 at that point. I was like, oh my God. This is where I was like, Jermaine, you were right. I shouldn't have spoke too soon. I was like,
because at that point, I couldn't take overtime.
And you know whose juices were flowing at that point? You know who juices were flowing?
Who?
Stephen A. Smith. What can happen will happen. He was ready to hit send on his end on Twitter or whatever
and
website, social media he's on.
Already dialed up.
Yeah, he was getting ready to do pan to his face. Yeah. He was getting ready to do that.
Looking lonely in a hotel room. You ever notice that every time he does them videos, ain't no family around him, ain't no girlfriend or wife, no kids. Just lonely ass. Just all he got is to make fun of Dallas. Like, who can make fun? Who there with you to make fun of the videos fun for you, dude?
Right, but as you have mentioned earlier, chip shot. Commanders, all they had to do was hit the field goal. Game's tied. So I'm already preparing my mind. We're going to go to overtime, and we're in Washington. All right, the game's probably over. And I'm not going to be able to brag. I had a post I was about to put up. I was about to hit our boy John up. I was about to tag him in it. I already had the post ready, but I had to get ready to hold off on that because it looks like it was going to overtime. And as you have said, the field goal kicker missed it. 27-26. Still Dallas with the lead. Commanders had one more shot. Onside kick, which has been pretty much impossible to do recovery. I still hate that rule where you have to tell the other team, even though that's pretty much a given at this juncture, the way the game was set up, it's going to be an onside kick. I hate that they're taking the surprising element of an onside kick out of the game now. You have to tell them, and now that just reduces the chances of someone actually recovering it, But not only did we recover it, we scored a touchdown on it, which kind of was a bad decision because we got the ball. We should have just sat on it and ran the clock out. But in the excitement, I forget his name, that ran it back, Wanye Thomas, he ran it back for a touchdown. He probably thought he was doing the right thing. Understandable, but yeah, it would have been smarter if he just sat on the ball, ran the clock out, and go for the win. Because this still gave a chance for the Commanders to win. And I was like, after what had just happened when the Commanders had the ball, I was not taking any chances. So I was like, a Hail Mary away, just tying this game up, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And luckily, it didn't work out that way. Time ran out. We win the game 34-26. Game over. Finally can have some relief. You get $50.
I got $50. A little bit of relief. And when he ran it back for the touchdown, Wanye, what's his last name?
Wanye Thomas.
When he ran it back for the touchdown, I was shaking my head. I'm like, no, why are you doing that? And they cut the Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was even like, why is he like? And I'm like, why, dude? Just fall on it. Just fall on the ball. This game's over. A couple seconds. And because of what we saw, what happened with Washington earlier in the season, the Hail Mary, what more fitting of an end to a Dallas game would it have been for them to win on a last second Hail Mary? Honestly, the Hail Mary is supposed to be like a shocking play or like a really high risk play. Like it's rarely that it's gonna happen or be successful. But in that moment, I was like, they're gonna get this Hail Mary. I'm like, they're gonna get it. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
And we picked it off. But I wasn't fully confident that Washington, that Dallas would have stopped it rather. And I mean, they did. But my heart like sunk, and I was like, "Well, there it is. Dallas is gonna be Dallas, and this
I was like,
Jack's gotta run it back for the touchdown." But I mean, you know, though saying win is a win, it does feel good to beat Washington because I do not. Our homeboy John is a huge Washington fan, so it feels good to brag for at least for a week because I said this in a couple videos. We're not going to see nobody's playoffs, so we got to take our small victories when we get them. And we got a week of just all right. We beat Washington. We got Giants on Thanksgiving. Probably will
I hit a
beat them.
2-game winning streak. Maybe.
Probably will beat
them. They don't have Daniel Jones no more, so I don't know.
They don't have Daniel Jones. But you know, like I said, and Washington aren't like Philly. I can't stand Philly. I hope every time we play Philly, I want to beat them. But it felt good to finally just see smiles on the Dallas sideline. Dear God, it was a depressing 4 or 5 weeks. It just felt good to have something to cheer for as a Dallas Cowboy fan, you know? So
I think that helped out a lot. What's been the main thing I've said all year is I think the defense is not that bad. Now, of course, we've been bloodied and battered all year, but they have playing pretty hard for what they have, but they become uninspired because the offense either gives it up or they go 3 and out. They go to the red zone, they fumble it, they intercept it, and it not even a field goal. And of course, last week was terrible because we had a 64-yard field goal and we gave it up for a penalty and no points.
No points. So we tried to punch it in, but we all And
correct me if I'm wrong. I heard a stat today for the third quarter because we scored in the third quarter. Did the announcer say that's the first third quarter touchdown we've had all season?
Yeah, and that's based upon what I remember in all the football, all the games this season. That sounds pretty accurate. It sounds pretty accurate. I think we did when we beat Pittsburgh. I think we scored in the first half, and it was just a field goal fest from there.
Yeah, because usually that's when we lose the game is in the third quarter.
Yeah,
the onslaught usually comes back when the team comes back on the field in the third quarter, and we just can't score. We can't stop anybody from scoring.
And we didn't even get the ball out of the half today, which is another reason I'm like we're gonna lose because, I believe that touchdown that they did get when Jaden Danielson ran it, that was out of the half, but. Defense showed up. Defense actually showed up. Mike Parsons had a sack. I think the presence of DaRon Bland was huge for the defense today. Just his presence, because they did not mess with his side of the field.
Yeah, Parsons had 2 sacks today. Butler had 1. Josh Butler had 1. Demarion Overshown had 1. A total of 4 sacks today, and a couple interceptions with Chauncey Golston and Israel Makuamu. The defense showed up today. Offense, like I said, not too bad. Like I said, Rico Dowdle he did good for what he's talented enough to do.
For what we can expect.
Yeah,
he did okay.
19 rushes. He was a workhorse today. Cooper Rush did fairly good. I mean, for a back, he's a backup quarterback. People have to remember, and he's going to be mainly a game manager for what he did. Kudos to him. Great. I just hope he can continue doing what he does for that. Now, our purpose probably for the rest of the season. And you know what? I don't even know. That's what kind of sucks today, because somebody was a Debbie Downer about today too. We won, but we have ruined our position a little bit more in the draft. So I don't know how to feel about that.
I'm of this mindset as it relates to that. I don't go into anything expecting to lose. Anything, whether it's my team, whether it's when I go watch my son play football, when I go to work, I expect to I want to win. I want to win at life. I want to win at anything. So I just if you remember the Last Dance with Jordan, remember, I think it was like the 80-something season, 84, maybe 85. Yeah. They were like, Jordan wanted to, the headquarters wanted, the Bulls headquarters wanted to tank the season, but Jordan was like, I'm not tanking anything, because they wanted the draft pick and Jordan wanted to win. I kind of have that mentality. I know that that's the business of football in the offseason and the draft, of who you get. But in the moment, as a fan, I want to win. And I get it that it may mess up the draft pick, but you still want to win in that moment, in those moments. And especially a divisional rival with the Commanders.
So basically, if we're not worried about tanking, we're playing the role of spoiler. So teams that may have a chance to get a good position in the playoffs, such as the Commanders, we're going to play the position as spoiler. We can do that again to other NFC East. Well, the Eagles, Giants don't count for nothing. But other teams, we got to play along the schedule. That's our role, it seems like, is the role of spoiler.
Yeah, it's just that, like, if you look at it, like the Panthers are going to get a really good draft pick.
They almost won today.
What's that?
They almost won today. They almost beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I saw that. But
the Chiefs were going to be mad and just kill them after losing last week.
And I wanted them to beat the Chiefs too. But you were the biggest FU to the NFL would be the sorry ass Panthers beating the Chiefs. That would have been great. That just would have made my NFL year, despite the shit show I'm watching every Sunday with the Dallas Cowboys. But yeah, I just feel like, the whole tanking thing is it's good for the business of the organization, but I don't think it's good for the fan of the organization. Well, I think the fan of the organization wants to win despite what's going on in the front office.
Yeah. Well, a couple teams that I like that is, for one, is us, is Dallas and Lakers. Lakers don't seem to ever tank for a top team. They always make big trades. They may trade for a draft pick, but they usually don't tank for a number one draft pick. I'm trying to think, what's the last high draft pick that they've had that they actually drafted and didn't like make a trade for the draft. Besides, Magic Johnson is the last thing I can think of, but there wasn't a draft when he came in. Not like there is today with ping pong balls or whatever.
Right.
I mean, but they got Kobe, but Kobe was a trade from Charlotte.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a pride thing, because Lakers are now number 2 is for championships, in the NBA. In Dallas, they're up there, I don't know what, number 4 or 5 or whatever for team for championships, but they're looked at as a winning franchise, probably unfairly, but they seem to try to stay relevant every year and not tank. And so I don't know if it's a pride thing to ever look like, oh, we're the bottom of the barrel team, so we're not going to draft anybody or not going to tank to draft anybody. We're just going to make a big trade because everybody wants to come here. So we're not going to down ourselves and put ourselves in a position to draft somebody. People just want to come here. That's what we'll do.
I think you got a point with that. I think you got that's a very good point. I believe it's the mentality for the organization in Dallas is that we're not going to tank. We're not going to purposely tank. Let me put it that way. We're not going to purposely tank. We are going to continue to try to win because we are still the Dallas Cowboys, and we don't want to have a horrible record. You can, like, Dallas in the past have had good records and still missed the playoffs. I remember at one point going like, I believe 10-6 when it was 16 games and missed the playoffs. And 10-6 is a winning record. So, but you can't control what every other team's record is at that point. So, I believe it's the culture in Dallas. Like, they're not gonna. Pride is a big thing with them, and probably it's looked at like, oh, we can trade, and you can be a Cowboy, and we can trade and make you a Cowboy, and life would be good from there. Amari Cooper came in on the trade, and for a while, life was good with him. So, your comparison to the Lakers is very spot on and accurate.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break real quick, and we'll get right back to more Dallas news. Take a quick break.
Now, before we get started, I would really love it if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you.
All right. I got some footage today. Before the game started, we had some riled up Commanders fans. John might have been among the fray, and I don't know if he went to the game today or watched it from home. Take a look at this footage right quick. Oh no! We can't do that. We got to make that a little bigger. We got to let everyone see this. Oh no, let's put that on the screen. Everybody got to see this. Okay, let's start that over. Let's see that. Why is the guy with Green Bay there?
That's funny. I believe, if memory serves, what was this filmed today?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how accurate it is. I would think so if they were saying that we want Dallas. I don't know.
Or was it filmed like a couple weeks ago because they had won a game against a Green? I don't remember Commanders playing Green Bay. I don't know. I know there was a video like this last year. I don't know if it's the same video.
Yeah, the message is still there. They wanted Dallas.
Well, yeah. I'll say this: Washington, you got Dallas, and I'm a quote. You ever seen The Equalizer? Denzel, the very first Equalizer. Yeah. Denzel's at the restaurant with the guy who's behind the murders and the killings and all that. Mm-hmm. And Denzel said, when you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. So, so Washington, we were your rain, but I'm probably your field goal kicker was your mud.
Yeah, can't be mad at
You
us for
got
that.
Dallas, and hell, the beauty of it is you get Dallas again in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, true, but
So
well, I was about to say at home, but that has been our Achilles heel. Well, the
at
whole
home,
season has
so
been our Achilles heel, but yeah, basically at home, we still don't have a home win yet.
maybe they should should have saved that video for that game.
Yeah, Jake Paul got a win in Dallas. We still don't have a win yet. It's a shame.
Jake Paul, soccer team.
Yeah, that's the only good thing that's going in Dallas is people having sporting events there.
Couple local high school football games I think happen over there. Yeah, like I said, man, we got to take our small celebrations when we can this season. I tell you one thing though, I saw one team that is looking equally bad like us.
Who's that?
49ers. Ho.
Who won that game today?
Not 49ers.
They lost.
Green Bay.
They lost.
Green Bay. Yeah, 49ers lost. 49ers are banged up just like us.
Whoa, 30. Am I reading that right? 38-10. Wow.
Yeah.
They had Christian McCaffrey back. I know that part. I think Purdy was out.
Yeah. 49ers are not making the playoffs just like us. And that gives me a little bit of a feel-good moment.
Wow. Bears lost today. That was straight. Giants 30-7. Right now the Eagles third quarter, they're winning 27-14 against the Rams. Like I said, Chiefs beat Panthers 30-27. Can't believe it was even that close. Patriots lost to the Dolphins 34-15. Titans beat the Texans today 32-27. After they beat us. Yeah. Lions smashed the Colts 24-6. Broncos beat the Raiders 29-19. Seahawks beat the Cardinals 16-6.
The Cardinals, the Cardinals are flying. Cardinals always fly under the radar to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about them. Like maybe because they don't get as much TV time as some of these other teams, but they always fly under the radar to me. I don't know what it is. Like I never know if the Cardinals are having a good season or a bad season, and then I randomly hear their record. I'm like, oh, okay.
Maybe because their name is the Cardinals. It's not really a intimidating bird, like the Raven.
Yeah,
it's a baseball bird, like the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a baseball bird.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a good, like I said, good win. I'm happy I can go to work tomorrow and at least say we won, because a lot of my coworkers are, they're ready for me. I can at least say we won. But
they always start off. Did you watch the game? I watched the game.
Yeah, I watched the game.
At least I know about the game. I watched it.
Especially when we lost against the Texans. Like, yeah, and the Texans was a Monday night game. I'm like, I came in there Tuesday. I'm like, man, we talked about it at work that day. Yes, I was gonna watch it, but we got a lot of work to do still. I mean, again, it's a feel good win, but CeeDee Lamb is. See, I would give this to CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is a trooper, man, because in this debacle of a football season, he seems to be the only, I guess you can say, star offensive player. Yeah. Still giving it a go. I'll say that. Obviously, Dak is gone for the season. Zeke is
gone for the last 3 seasons.
Like I said, man, Zeke will not be in the NFL next season. He won't.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how many teams make the playoffs per conference? Is it 8?
8 or 7.
8 or 7? Because I know they added an extra one, so I think it's 7. Let me make sure. Let me Google it just to make sure. How many? Ah, damn it.
My question with this game is, Did you see Jay-Z at the game? Jay-Z was at the Cowboys Washington game. And I was trying to figure out what's the affiliation.
He was a fan of who? Washington?
Well, I don't know who he was rooting for, but I saw a video of Dez Bryant trolling him when the Cowboys won. And he took a picture with Michael Parsons.
Yeah, I know he had an affiliation with Dez Bryant one time.
What was
that? Was when he was good.
Maybe that's what I don't know. That was Jay-Z was there. I mean, obviously he's on the the halftime situation, but of all games that Jay-Z would go to, it ain't like Cowboys or Commanders going to the Super Bowl. I will say this though, Commanders, you guys got some work to do. You're gonna go to the playoffs, but
I don't know about that. Well, I mean, I'm not so sure. Go ahead with your point. Go ahead with your point.
I think they squeak in the playoffs, but from what I saw today against Dallas, if you put some pressure on Jaden Daniels, he's not an accurate passer, and that's going to be I believe that'll be their Achilles heel because I think in time he has potential to be like one of those Lamar Jackson's out of the pocket quarterbacks.
Yeah. But
not yet.
He might be hitting the rookie wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3-game losing streak. But I'm go back to you say I don't know Washington will exactly make it because 7 teams, that's what I just looked at. 7 teams with each conference make the playoffs, okay? So Washington right now is 5th place in the conference. And I know that's different because depending on who leads their division, that's the top 3 teams. But Washington now has a 7-5 record. Behind them is Seattle 6-5, Atlanta 6-5, Arizona Cardinals 6-5, Rams, which may lose the day right now, they're 5-5. 49ers 5-6, Buccaneers 5-6. So I'm just gonna give it those teams. I'm not gonna read the rest of those. But there's a possibility if they keep losing games, it's easy for them to go down the ladder and not make the playoffs.
That is very true. I'm just saying, if they do squeak in, they're going to be out first round based off the plays I saw today because there was a few, even before the craziness of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They kept giving Dallas shot after shot. They could have put that game away maybe in the second quarter, but for some reason they just kept giving Dallas opportunity after opportunity. And I mean,
they make us look bad. We made them look bad for not doing good enough to finish the game versus a bad team, which is us.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, our boy John, you took your L today, but y'all might want to clean up a little bit because I still got them going to the playoffs. I just they didn't look playoff like a playoff team today, But going back to what we said earlier in the video, it looked like they both wanted to lose. It looked like Dallas was like, we know we getting this top. We want this draft pick. We don't give a damn. We want to lose. But it looked like Washington was like, we don't want to win either. I don't know what their reasoning for not wanting to win would have been.
We'll take a look at this. The next 5 games for the Commanders. I'm going to get off the Commanders in a minute because this is the Dallas show. But the next 5 games for the Commanders, Titans, Saints, which is probably winnable. But then again, they got a new coach now because they just fired him. Eagles, Falcons, and then last game, back to us.
They losing against the Eagles and Falcons. And then, hell, at that point, we got nothing to play for. We may win that game.
Well, yeah. We may win that game, but they'll have something to play for too, because they're probably gonna be playing for a playoff position or the playoffs. Period.
Right.
So again, we'll play a spoiler this year.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of. If I gotta hang my head on anything for the remaining games of the season, it's to play spoiler. It's to have fun with the remaining games. Again, with the wins we do get, celebrate them. You know, talk a little bit of trash, but not enough because we know we ain't going first after. We know we're not going to playoffs, but it does feel good to beat Washington. I love beating Washington.
It's always a good feeling. No matter what your record is, it's always good to be.
It is.
Okay. Well, with that being said, we're going to wrap up the show here. We're both going to have a couple minutes to spew off what we want to say about today's game or next week or the season, period. Jermaine, I'll allow you to go first. We'll set the timer up. Tell us what you got to get off your chest. Maybe the fans, maybe to the Dallas team, some inspiration. What do you have to say?
I'll say this, man. Look at today's game as motivation for the remainder of the season. The likelihood of us going to the playoffs is slim, but let's just finish out the season with some pride and some heart and with some competitive nature. You know, just go into these games like you want to play the game, Dallas. I don't end the season as the laughing stock of the season. You know, we got Washington. I mean, we got the Giants on Thanksgiving. That's traditionally a very public televised game, prime time. You know, we lose, all the jokes and memes are gonna come flooding in, but you know, just go out there and play with some pride, play together, and you know, chips will fall where they fall in the draft, man. But I'm one of those fans who want the win. I want the dub, despite how we get it, how it looks, which is if it's messy, if we gave it away, or if they took it, or if we won, or if they lost. I want the dub, man. I think I do think Dallas is a good football team. I think again today the presence of DaRon Bland was hugely impactful, and I think it will remain impactful for the rest of the season. It will. DaRon Bland hasn't played a snap all season up until today. I'm gonna go on record and say DaRon Bland will get at least 3 picks before the end of the season. I would say that. At least 3. So let's just stay positive, Cowboy Nation. You know, we all, if you're a fan, you know how this season is going. So let's stay positive, and we got it.
All right, well said. Well said. All right, here's where I have to go at with this. All right, Cowboy Nation. So, as I was saying earlier, you're going to have to shift your purpose this year. It's not our year. We're not them boys to go to the Super Bowl this year. We have no chance. So we're going to play spoiler. You know, and the thing is, and I'm going to shift, go in a little bit of a different direction that maybe our viewers have not thought about. It's not just about playing spoiler. It's about not having to do stuff on Sundays with our girlfriends. Because if you give up on the Dallas Cowboys this year, you're going to have to do stuff that you don't want to have to do. You're going to have to go, watch rom-coms. You're going to have to go to events that you particularly don't want to go to. You're going to have to actually do something lovey-dovey. You got other 6 days to do that. Sunday is your day. Your day. So don't give up on Dallas. If you give up on Dallas, you're giving up on yourself. And you need time away from her. She has those other days to nag you. Just take this particular day, Sunday. It is yours. It is your day to relax. Even though Dallas is stressing you out, it could be worse. You could be spending time with your wife or your girlfriend. Now, don't take my advice. Don't say I said it, because I don't want angry letters coming at me from your wives and girlfriends. You made this up on your own. don't blame it on me. But indirectly, directly, don't give up on Dallas because you need this in your life. Because you want to have stress-free time away from your wife and girlfriend. Take the time to yourself. Continue supporting Dallas so you can love yourself. That's my time.
That is equally very well said. But what if your girl watched the game with you?
Okay, if that works, yeah. But
sometimes my wife watched the game with me, but she usually bails out by like second quarter, and she goes downstairs and watch. I can hear her. She'll put on like she likes cooking shows and all that crap.
Yeah, so this is a blowout. You can go ahead and leave the game early and watch this cooking show with me. Or make it interesting. Don't get blown out. This is probably why Dallas be making some of those, not all of them, but some of those games where they look like they're getting ready to lose, but in the fourth quarter, they try to make it close. It's like, oh, at least make it look close so I can have an excuse to continue watching.
That's a very good point. That's an excellent point because I remember very few Dallas games that I just lost complete interest because at some point they're gonna wake you back up and try to win again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as much of a blowout as it seems.
Oh, and I forgot one thing to show. The crazy stat you probably saw too for today's game. I'm popping it up here. Cowboys win over the Commanders was the first game in the Super Bowl era with 2 missed field goal attempts, 2 kickoff return touchdowns, and a blocked punt.
If anything Dallas is going to do, boy, they're going to make some kind of history.
On the wrong side of history, but at least it's the right side of history today.
They're going to make some history.
Well, that was our show today. I'd like to thank everybody on YouTube and Instagram. We're on Instagram at The Last Rewind. And, of course, YouTube. Make sure and subscribe so you can get future episodes of The Last Rewind, from sports to entertainment, music, and movies and TV shows. And we'll be back hopefully next week for the next game. I'm not sure. Oh, Thanksgiving. Well, we probably won't hear it Thanksgiving. Maybe the week after on Sunday. Not unless we're able to do something on Thanksgiving, probably not, but because we'll be probably full and have the itis and fall asleep at that point.
The itis, the sweet potato pie,
It's not for me, man.
Not for you?
Nah, you remember, I can't have it, man. I can't eat banana pudding. I can't eat bananas.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Let us know your favorite Thanksgiving dishes, everyone. Let us know. Let's go. Thanksgiving, let us know.
Yeah, we're going to eat the Giants up come Thursday.
We probably will win that game. They got Tony, what's his name? Tony DeVito, whatever his name is.
DeVito, yeah.
They got him back.
Yeah, and they got rid of some heavy weight with Daniel Jones, and they're going to get rid of his contract too. I guess pretty sure. Release all that from their team. But we will see you on the next episode. I guess it will be on the next Sunday program, just like we're here today, tonight, that is. And we'll see you on the next show of The Last Rewind. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Check the star. Peace.